police are still searching for the suspects in connection with the armed robbery at Walgreens. We have an update. And new tennis courts at the high school are officially ready for match play. We take you to the grand opening celebration. A town tradition continues for a good cause. We'll tell you why residents dined at the high school. Those stories just ahead on ELCAT News Update. Good evening. I'm Allie Carrington.
And I'm Bella Koinakis.
We begin tonight with an update on an armed robbery at Walgreens. Police say the incident happened Tuesday, the 19th, at Center Square Pharmacy, shortly before 9 p.m. According to reports, a suspect armed with a black handgun and a duffel bag jumped over the counter and told the pharmacist to, quote, "give me the good stuff." Police say the pharmacist handed over several types of drugs, including Oxycontin. Police say the suspect loaded the duffel bag with prescription medication, then fled to a white van that was waiting outside. East Longmeadow Police said Friday that several similar armed robberies of area pharmacies has taken place in the last few weeks. Chief Doug Mellis told ELCAT News that the van used in the robbery has been recovered, but that the suspects remain at large. One is described as a light-skinned black or Hispanic male, about 5'8", with a stocky build and dark hair. Police say he was wearing a red shirt, black pants, and black sneakers. Anyone with information is asked to contact the East Longmeadow Police Department.
In other news, tonight the annual town meeting is now in the history books. With barely a quorum, Tuesday's meeting was called to order. Town moderator Jim Shields opens the town meeting by announcing that the quorum of 150 voters had been reached.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The clerk has certified that we have a quorum for the 2015 annual town meeting.
The first article to be considered was the town's annual operating budget.
I move the town appropriate the grand total fiscal year 2016 budget of $54,257,078 and
Chairman of the Appropriations Committee, Eric Madison, explained the committee's effort to keep the tax rate from climbing too quickly.
The topic or the main topic that encompassed an awful lot of our deliberations was the ever-increasing tax rate that we're experiencing here in East Longmeadow. The simplest terms are we're trying not to tax to the full amount allowed by law. We're trying to keep the tax rate from growing as much as we can.
After discussion on a handful of line items, voters approved the $54 million budget for fiscal year 2016. Next came the presentation of the capital budget, including $154,000 for town hall renovations. Several residents raised questions about the costs involved in renovating a building that is already overcrowded, including Ralph Page, who moved that the expenditure be reduced to zero.
Maintenance of the town hall, as maintenance of the town hall. If you need to do pointing on the building, you need to do brickwork, you need generators put on for the cooling system. I have no problems with that. But to spend $700,000 and some odd $1,000 to do an interior renovation that will not get us any more space, and space is what the town hall needs. We have 4 reports we've paid money for. The appropriations has brought them forwards. We've had them done. They all say we need more space. We are not getting it with this. Just when you resize the offices doesn't give you more space. The building's not growing. The building can't grow. There's not enough parking for it. It doesn't allow it through our zoning bylaw. Thank you.
And I would be in favor of the amendment put forth because I think there's a lot of discussion to be had about all the money that's going to be put into that facility and whether or not we're going to come out in the end with something that's going to serve the town.
Daniel Burak from the Board of Public Works explained that over the past few years, the DPW has made numerous improvements to keep the building running.
Over the years, we continually upgrade the town hall. This is just an ongoing project to make this building functional. Like you've said before, it is our town hall. It will always be our town hall, and this will get us by indefinitely. I mean, the projects that we're proposing now will last us for an indefinite period of time.
The motion to amend the article failed, and the capital budget passed as presented. The other article that generated some discussion was one sponsored by Billy Gorman and others that would have frozen taxes for senior citizens 70 and older.
I move the town vote to to establish a freeze on the residential real estate taxes for all citizens of the town of East Long Meadow at the tax rate in effect for the fiscal year in which the approval of the applicants for the freeze is granted, as printed in the warrant. 70 years of age or older on or before December 31st of any calendar year, and have owned and occupied as applicants, principal resident, the land and building for which the freeze is requested.
Several citizens expressed concern about the article.
In addition to the means test, some things about it are basically unfair. I live with a senior citizen. We've paid taxes in town for 51 years. However, we moved 5 years ago within town, so we could not apply. I know of people who own homes in Florida. Florida stipulates that you must be there 6 months and a day. This does not provide for that. So I think this is seriously flawed, and I would suggest that the petitioners go back, research the law, talk to people in the Department of Revenue, and find out what they should do to clean up this proposal.
But what I'm asking is, when you say that there's no loss of revenue, if the tax rate goes up and the seniors are frozen, then I'm assuming that there's a gap that we would lose in revenue. And I just want to know what that is. Has anyone done a projection on that?
You know what we got to do to compensate it? Every time we have a town meeting, people only know how to shake their head yes. They don't know how to shake their head no. And then I get calls at my house, I hope our taxes don't go up. Well, we got to stop spending.
The vote was close enough to require a teller count, but ended up not passing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the results of the teller count, those in favor of the motion totaled 59. Those opposed totaled 72. The motion failed.
In other news tonight, the new tennis courts at the high school are officially open. While they were completed last fall, the finishing touches were put on this week. So on Saturday, the East Long Meadow Tennis Association, along with town residents, christened the new tennis courts with a big celebration. ELCAT's Tyler Hadley has more.
Food, fun, and games. That was the atmosphere at the grand opening of the brand new ELHS tennis courts. Town officials and representatives of East Long Meadow Tennis were on hand to celebrate the event. Rec Director Colin Drury explains how the new tennis courts will affect youth tennis programs.
What's really exciting about these courts is it gives me the opportunity to work with an association to get youth active. Since I became the director, my #1 goal was to become an athletic feeder program for our high school. The most underserved sport was tennis. So my first time here, I came out to our courts and very quickly realized that this was not the right place for youth tennis. The cracks were too big for youth. They wouldn't learn. It wasn't the correct environment. Now we have that environment. I'm unbelievably excited to be able to adopt the USTA philosophy of learning, to have a U10 program, a U14 program to filter into your team. And now we can actually take USTA tennis to the next level here in East Long Meadow, and thank you very much for your support as part of
Board of Selectmen member Angela Thorpe was enthusiastic and passionate about opening up the new tennis courts.
These tennis courts have been a long time coming. It's been a dream for so many for so long. I remember my first term on school committee when the tennis court project was somewhat a lady in waiting. It is a pleasure to be able to see it come to fruition, and from the hard work and dedication of many groups and several individuals. The result is another added facet to East Long Meadow's diamond, which shines more radiantly with each facet added. Now that the courts are complete, some excuses have been eliminated. Some. Gone are the cracks that break your mama's back. Gone are the lines, the grass, the inline grass and weeds. Gone are the sagging nets. These courts are ones that you can be proud of. And so we thank you again for all involved to make it happen. And may God bless you richly. Here's to many Spartan aces being served hot and fast. Blessings.
Welcome to the new home of Spartan Tennis.
These courts are now open to the public and include brand new lights, making them perfect for night play. Remember, these courts are for all of the public to enjoy.
Staying at at the high school, Saturday was full of activities outside at the courts and inside as well. Dozens of residents came to ELHS for the Lions Club annual Pancake Breakfast, which supports the ELHS track team as well as the Lions Club ongoing commitment to eye research. Lloyd Oaks spoke to ELCAT's Jake Brady.
We're very fortunate today. In addition to the Lions that are here, we also have participants from the track team, the East Long Meadow High School track team, and they're just doing such a wonderful job. We couldn't do it without them. We couldn't do it without your help also. So if you get a chance next year, if you're not here this year, come by next year and enjoy our pancake breakfast. Thank you very much.
Well, that's a quick look at the latest news in town.
I'm Allie Carrington.
And I'm Bella Koinakis.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, good night.